Hello, and welcome to Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation of mental health with me, and I'm looking forward to sharing in this day with you. We are live. I'm just opening the stream dashboard. So, hello and welcome to Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health. We are currently live. It's great to be here with everyone today. Another day. It's Thursday now. This is the penultimate day with me talking about mental health. I will be doing a blog tomorrow and a live stream tomorrow, but then Mental Health Awareness Week is over on Sunday, but I will be wrapping up things on Friday to give me the weekend to actually see what's been going on myself, instead of me doing all the content. So it's nice to catch up and reconnect with all the blogs, etc. Although I've been doing some of that for my roundup post tomorrow. So if you're new here, I'm just going to run through a couple of things about the stream and about what happens for the next half an hour, and hopefully you find some value in this stream. It's an open conversation. That's the first thing to mention. So you can talk about anything you like in the chat. Do just say hello. And I'm normally guided by what you say in the chat as to what we talk about. I don't really have a set script. This is completely unscripted. So it's great to actually just freely talk about mental health. And one of the things that really helps me in my mental health is having that ability and the space that I have now with you all to actually talk about mental health in an open, unscripted way. And that's really what today is about. Mental Monday was a live show that I do every Monday. I did stop it, and it's been stopped for several months actually, but I brought it back on Monday, and these are special episodes. So these are Mental Monday, Mental Health Awareness Week specials, because it is Mental Health Awareness Week, and I normally do stuff every day for it. So that's another thing to mention. If you want to contact me privately about anything, then Twitter is @JakeSWrites. You're more than welcome to say hello and to get involved there. And that's it, really, of everything I need to mention. I normally go up to 5 minutes just to let people join. We'll be live for the next half an hour and talking about mental health. I'm normally guided by what I write. So I've got a mental health blog at jakesimons.com, which you can go and read. I've done a post every day this week. Today's post was about things you can do to be kind. Yesterday's post was going through the Mental Health Awareness Week report and the stats that stood out to me in that, which I talked about on the live yesterday. Day before that was my own thoughts on kindness, and on Monday it was kind of an intro to the week and everything that was going to be happening with it. So really that's kind of everything that's been happening. Another thing you'll have to forgive is my hair gets in my eyes. It's getting to the point where it's kind of in my eyes. So I will be doing that a lot. Sorry if that annoys anyone. I know it probably will annoy someone out there. I haven't been able to get my hair cut, as you can see. I do apologise. And with that, I will now talk about Mental Health Awareness Week. So if you don't know what you should do by now, Mental Health Awareness Week is run by the Mental Health Foundation, and they talk all things mental health. So they're the UK's charity for mental health, effectively. They're responsible for picking the theme, and they normally pick a lot of resources as well to actually get people involved in the week. And I've been kind of breaking down those resources and working through them this week as well. The theme this week is kindness, and it's all about why kindness matters. And I spoke about this on Tuesday, I spoke about this yesterday, I'm going to speak about this today as well. Kindness matters. And it's great to actually discuss that and to talk to you about why that is, and why it's helpful, and how kindness has helped me, how it can help you, how it helps everyone, etc., etc. Kindness is powerful, and that's the idea that I kind of invented on the stream. I came up with this idea that kindness is powerful, and this kind of phrase that I thought about was just like on the stream. I just had a moment, and sorry, the things I love most about these weeks is that I'm learning along with you guys, so I'm actually, actually thinking about things and processing things on a personal level, as well as obviously having a mental health blog and getting really involved in it that way as well. I'm also personally, as an individual, going through the kind of week and processing things myself as well. So, we're 5 minutes in now. Does anyone want to say anything? Do say hello. If you do, I will now talk about kindness. So the blog I wrote for today was all about how you can be kind, really. I know I feel like it's kind of obvious, but then not in the same way. So it was a bit of an odd one writing about it, because I was struggling with what to write, and then I was thinking that we all have kindness within us, and most of us probably do have an awareness of how we can be kind. So we know that we're in this position, someone else is in this position, they don't want to be in that position, so we do something to help them get into a better position. Effectively, that's what kindness is. We are in a good place, so we use the option, whatever it may be, donating to charity, volunteering, doing something for a neighbour, etc. We take that step because we're in a good position, so we help someone who maybe isn't in some way. So that's kind of what kindness is to me. And I feel like we all kind of... There's no, like, to be kind, you do this. There's no instruction manual for kindness. And so it's kind of difficult, I guess, talking about it. And the topic that I set myself, because I've done a kind of different topic of kindness every day, the topic I set myself for today was how to be kind. And a bit of an odd one. And I've challenged myself to do it anyway, but there is no instruction manual for kindness. We're all like... I don't know how I would even describe it. We're all in different positions. We all know different people. We all are in different circumstances. We all have different abilities in what we can and can't do. We're all in a different place. And then it's not like a one-size-fits-all kindness. Different people need different things, and being kind to someone may not be kind to someone else, and for me, I think the biggest thing in being kind to people is just seeing what they need and seeing how you can help them with that need, basically. Which kind of sounds more like a marketing explanation, doesn't it? Which is the day job. But for me, anyway, I know I can share mental health tips because I'm quite far down my journey of recovery, and I've therefore am in a good place right now. I am in a good place right now, and because I am in a good place, I feel like, maybe I should share some of that journey, share some of the story, share kind of how I got here, so other people can get into a good place too, because I want to be kind to them, I want to help them get into a good place, because I'd feel bad that other people may not be in a good place, and I want to be kind to them. So that's kind of how I see that. I don't think I really thought about this too much when I was starting my kindness journey on Childline message boards, replying to people. I never really processed what I was doing. I was doing it because it gave me a purpose, and it kind of helped me realise, that I wasn't alone. So I was getting a lot more kindness out of it than really I was putting into it, because I could see people weren't alone, and it just made me feel valuable and worth, and like I had some worth, which at that time I didn't feel like I did. So for me, doing that was really helpful, and then it's kind of moved into my mental health blog. But actually, on a more kind of personal level, friends being there for me being there for my friends, just doing nice things. And nice is probably the best word I would describe them with. And that's because these aren't grand gestures, they're not big things. But what we are doing by doing these nice things is being kind to people. And I feel like by being kind and doing things for others, that's helped me a lot as well. And Mental Health Foundation, which I spoke about yesterday, says that, there's the mental health benefit is for us as well when we help someone else. So really, there's not really one thing I do to be kind. I guess you could say that having my blog and talking about mental health is the biggest thing, and sharing my story and all that kind of work that I do. But really, I feel like just being there, being accepting, simply just being there. And for me, that's enough. And for me, I feel like being there for someone, other people being there for me, is enough for my kindness. And that's helped me a lot, really. So yeah, that's kindness for me. And then there's also kindness to myself. How am I kind to myself? Yes, I am kind to myself, but if you ask me what I do to be kind to myself, I don't do anything, really, to be kind to myself. I don't do anything to be unkind to myself either. It's just that I don't really have things I do for self-care. I have in the past wrote, and writing, free writing, I spoke about this on the blog before, has really helped me. That's writing that no one sees. So this is writing that I just put my thoughts down and no one reads them, and it just kind of goes off into the abyss, and then I, shred it or keep it, and make that decision. But it's just writing when I'm low, and that kind of cheers me up, because it's like I'm getting my stuff out there, and that's kind of my thing, and that thing stays with me. So that's also helped. But I don't really do anything to be kind to myself. I think a lot of what I do is talking to myself and telling, myself that the place you're at now is okay, and just I feel like being accepting of myself. And I spoke about this on Instagram as well, is that just being accepting of myself, being kind to myself, is just accepting that things are in a difficult situation, and I'm doing my best, and that's okay, and I'm doing good enough, and just not beating myself up too much. And that's kind of been the real kindness for me, and that's really helped me the most in terms of kindness, is actually just being there for someone, really. That's really helped a lot. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to talk about. That's mainly the kind of essence of my blog post, and kind of what really I wanted to say for this kind of first half. That's the first half of my blog post as well. The second half of my blog post, that goes into more kind of things about ideas how to be kind. Sorry, just went straight on my head there what I wrote like earlier today. But it's just ideas about being kind, and like things you can do to be kind, really. And the big one I spoke about is volunteering. Obviously, I've done a bit of that. I still do. Obviously, it's a bit more restricted now. We're all inside. But definitely that's helped, I guess. Although I just volunteer because I just like it, to be honest. I mean, I don't really see the mental health impacts of it. It's just something I like to do, so I do it. It's just nice, and it's not really, this helps my mental health. This makes me feel a little good about myself. I mean, it's just nice to get involved and help out people who need it, really. So, that's kind of volunteering for me. Other people, it may more have like a more significant positive impact and help them out a lot, which is really nice. If you have found in volunteering that it's actually helping your mental health. And I would recommend it if you're in a position to volunteer, to do it, because, it's helping people out and it's good for you and gets you out, maybe, if it's out and outside thing. Obviously not at the moment, we can't do that much, although lockdown's being eased, however soon that may be, but it's not really like these are all the things you can do to be kind. What it's really giving, what the Mental Health Foundation are really giving, are just ideas, and these are like just ideas of what you can do, and you follow them if you want to, or if they don't work, or if you're not in a position to do them, that's okay, because ultimately what you want to do is you want to put yourself in a position where you're like, yes, I'm being kind to others and I'm being kind to me, but you don't have to tick off a box. Like, I am being kind to others because I do X, Y, and Z. It's more, I am kind to others because I'm there for people, I help people out who need it, I show kindness by when it comes up. I wouldn't prescribe it as such, and it's definitely, you want to think of the value you're giving to the other person, and the Mental Health Foundation do mention this, that kindness is about doing something for someone else. So I wouldn't get too rigorous or too prescriptive with it. It's just doing it when you feel comfortable, so that, you actually are in a position to just say, yeah, I'm a kind person, and you do kind things, and that's nice, and that's what you should be doing. And then being kind to yourself as well is that we all have our own self-care routines, and what works for some people with self-care won't work for others, and I've certainly done things like the self-care challenge before, which is a week where I kind of say do a self-care activity every day to get you in that kind of habit of doing self-care, because it's important that we do look after ourselves and that we are kind to ourselves, especially in these times. So definitely being kind, but there's no one size fits all. There's no real thing, this is what you can do to be kind, because we're all in different positions. So it's kind of hard for me to actually say this is what you need to do to be kind, when you've probably got a better idea of how you can be kind than I do. So that is what I just say about these ideas. But if you are looking for ideas and you're stuck for ideas, here is what the Mental Health Foundation recommend some of the things that you do. And the first is volunteering. And what they recommend that you, if you're able to volunteer, then yeah, do it. If it's safe to do so, and I just thought I'd add that. Or doing something for a good cause as well. Like, say, donating to charity, getting involved in a charity, which kind of goes into volunteering. But anything you can really do to actually get involved and actually help out something you care about. Like, I care about mental health, so I started this blog. And I write on this blog, and it's because, I like mental health and I like talking about it. And I'm going to continue with Mental Mondays now. After a long kind of discussion with a couple of friends, I've decided Mental Monday will continue from Monday onwards. It did stop because I thought talking about my mental health wasn't the answer. I realised I was just in a low place. Now I'm in a better place. I realised actually talking about mental health wasn't the problem, it was me. So I've kind of come a bit further out of that low trough on my recovery journey. And I am now in a place where I feel able to do Mental Monday again. So I'm, of course, going to do it. And I think that comes back to being kind to myself, is that, you're not always going to be in a position to do everything. And setting yourself up to do kind things is good, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. So it's important not to overdo it and to get the balance right between being kind to others and also being kind to you as well. And I feel like being kind to me actually helps me then recover so that I'm in a position where I can actually say, we're on a mental health journey and I can start talking about that again because I've come a bit further along my mental health journey. And because I've come further along my mental health journey, I'm now able to talk about it and have these mental Mondays and sharing it and get involved and all the stuff that I love doing. I'm able to reconnect and find joy in that once more because talking about mental health makes me happy and it helps me, and that's why I'm going to continue it. So, a few other things they do recommend to do is to call a friend you haven't spoke to in a while. We're all a bit lonely in our own houses, not able to be 2 meters apart from, only able to be 2 meters apart from one of our friends at a time if you're going out, or if you're shielding like me, you can't really go out at all, which is kind of a shame. But call a friend you haven't spoke to in a while. I think in these times anything goes, and this is a situation, it's a pandemic, it's a situation no one's been in that remembers it. So I feel like, you have permission to speak to a friend that you haven't spoke to. And I know we may feel like, what if they don't want to talk to me? What if they don't want to know me? I haven't spoke to them in so many years. Do they even know who I am anymore? I should have texted them much sooner. It's too late for me to do so now. It's not. This is kind of a situation where anything goes, and this is your best possible opportunity to reconnect with someone who you may have fallen out of touch with. And I would, yes, text your friends. Your friends are probably as lonely as you and looking for someone to talk to. And we're all going through this. And I think it's okay to talk to your friends and to try and reconnect to people you may have not spoke to in a while, and to talk to them and to say hello and to get involved in them in that way. And I feel like that's really what we need. We all need to be that kind of helpful in that way. A few other things are post a card or a letter to someone you know, or to help someone with shopping, or, just help someone who's a bit vulnerable or a bit lonely. And I think this comes back to the point I was just making, is that we're all in different positions, and we're all in a different position. Not one of us is going to be in the same position as someone else, and because of that, we all can do different things to be kind. And there's not really a one-size-fits-all here. It's you be kind because, you're doing a kind thing. You're not kind because you do X, and it's kind of, just don't prescribe it. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that you don't want to prescribe kindness. You don't want to say, right, you need to do this list to be kind. You want to actually say, how can I help people? How can I do something for someone? How can I do something for a cause or a charity or whatever you want to get involved with, or an elderly neighbour, a friend, a family member, whatever it may be. How can you be kind to that person? And you being in that situation are in the best place to make that decision on how you are kind. And you just need to look and to think and to see the kind of circumstances, and you should from that be able to see, this is what I can do to be kind, this is what they need, this is how I can help, this is how I can donate my time, this is how I can donate these resources, this is how I can check in on someone or give them food or whatever it may be. This is what I can do. And actually looking at where you're at and looking at who you know and what you get involved in, and seeing how they can use your help, and then giving that help, offering that help, and just that's kindness. Is just doing something kind for someone. That is kindness, and it may seem a small thing, and it may seem a simple explanation, and it may seem that throughout this video I haven't really gone into much meat about kindness, but those small acts, those small things that you do are really, really powerful, and kindness is powerful, and it goes back to that point again, and I really, really would encourage you to actively think about what is the need, who I can be kind to, who maybe I haven't texted. Scroll through your phone, see who you haven't texted, who's at the bottom of your messages, and say hello. It's as simple as that, and that is an act of kindness, and that is something you can do to be kind. But also, while you're being kind to everyone else, make sure you're kind to yourself too, and actually take some time for being kind to yourself, because to be kind to other people, you really need to be in a good place yourself, and actually being kind to people and being nice. You need to be nice to yourself too. Whether that's, taking a bubble bath, or we're quite limited in what we can do in lockdown at the moment, so I would throw off all these suggestions that I'd normally do, which are not applicable at the moment. But be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and do what you think, what you feel is right to help someone else. And there we go. Is there anything else you want to talk about during the stream? We are 26 minutes in, the stream's normally only half an hour, so we are coming into the back end now. So if there is anything else you want to talk about, now is the time. Say in the chat if you do, and we will talk about it. Otherwise, it's a pleasure once again to talk to you about kindness and to actually get this opportunity to share, because without the kindness of others, without me being kind to myself, I wouldn't be as far into my recovery journey to actively be able to stand here and talk about kindness with you. And I feel like it's thanks to everyone's kindness, really, and my own kindness to myself, that I've been able to recover through what I've been through and actually talk today and share in this week with everyone. And as always, I'm so grateful that I've actually been experiencing that kindness while being auto-aware that so many people aren't. And there we go. It's kind of my final thoughts, really. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I feel like I feel like now I'm getting back into these. When I first started doing these, I was very stuttery, because I was wondering what to say next, and I was and I feel like, things have got a lot better now, and I feel like I'm back in my element, on camera, on the stream, talking about subjects I love, mental health, because mental health, to me, is, it's something we all go through, and if this stream, and you've been watching this, and it's helped someone, then I'm thankful, I appreciate that. I feel like, thank you for being here, really, and if I've helped you, then I'm glad I've helped you. I'm thankful that I've had the opportunity to help you, and if I don't know what kind of help I'd offer, actually, standing here talking about mental health. But if I've just given you a laugh or half an hour of distraction, thank you for being here with me. And just go out and be kind, really. And there we go. If you want to speak to me privately, or if you want to contact me about anything else, it's at JakeisWrites on Twitter, or my website, jakesimons.com. You spell Simons, S-Y-M-O-N-S. There's no I and there's no D. Other than that, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks so much for joining me. It's great to get the opportunity to speak with you. Tomorrow is the final stream of Mental Monday, and tomorrow I'll be talking about the week, my thoughts, my reflections, what's changed really for me, what I've been through, what I'm thinking, the kind of new ideas that I've had. Also, I'm going to try, although it may not be possible, to screen share, although haven't had much luck in testing so far today, but I'll give it another go tomorrow. trying to screen share and get that working so I can actually share in this week with you and share the blogs that on my blog tomorrow. You have still got time. If you want to send me your mental health blog that's been written for 2020, you've still got time. You've got up until, I'd say, midnight, just after, really, for it to come through. So I've got time to read it and put it in the blog tomorrow. The blog is going live at about 8 in the morning. So if you get it to me, by about 7, then yes, you've got until about 7 to get it to me. And then in the morning, the blog will go live. So there we go. That is everything I have to say, and I said there you go about 5 times and carried on talking. I just remembered I've done that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always, and I will see you tomorrow for the final special edition of Mental Monday, the big friendly conversation about mental health Awareness Week 2020 special for day 5. And until Monday at 7 p.m, I hope we'll go outside now, or in a few minutes, to go and clap for everyone. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you all tomorrow as well for our